Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tim's Formula, or welcome to. Today, we'll be discussing my 100% accurate F1 2026 predictions because, let's be honest, I'm always right, especially with that number one right there, Lance Stroll. All right, so we're going to go from P22 to P1 today with the new regulation changes. Cadillac, our 11th team on the grid. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, Lance Stroll, of course. Foreshadowing? Maybe. We'll see. Stay till the end to find out. All right. P22, I had a really hard time deciding what to do here. I think the midfield and, I don't know who's going to be at the bottom. I hope not Aston Martin. We'll figure our stuff out. Testing didn't look great, but it's only testing, right? All right. P22, I had to go Franco Colapinto. Alpine is just, it's Alpine. I don't think they're going to have much of a change from last year. I don't think Franco Colapinto's the guy. Do I think he's better than Jack Doohan, whatever? Yeah, I do. But is he better than the other 21 drivers out there? I don't think so. Okay. P21, once again, this back of the grid, I was really struggling because, new regulation changes. You never know who's going to pan out. So I went with the easy choice, Arvid Lindblad. He doesn't deserve to have the correct pronunciation of his last name yet. P21, I don't know if I can put him any higher than the last two slots. That V-Carb's not going to be great. Testing, it was a bottom three team. It's a sister team, third and fourth best driver at Red Bull, so I think he's going to get a good year under his belt. Maybe the future's bright for him, maybe not. P21. Arvid, it's okay, buddy. You'll be fine. Okay. This one pains me, but P20, we're going to go with Valtteri. So, hold on, before you get mad. Valtteri, that Cadillac, that's not going to go well together. They have two driver number twos, and I can't really rank one ahead of the other. I love Valtteri. That's America's ass right there. Boat ass. And that's going to go both ways. I love him. I miss him at Merck. But the mullet man, he's not going to get it done this year in Cadillac. All right, P19, it's going to be his teammate, Sergio Perez. I mean, there's not much coming out of that Cadillac. I can't say much. Two driver number twos and a brand new F1 team. Testing didn't look great. Slowest team, slower than Aston, which was crazy because Aston's 4 seconds off the pace. And they're just not going to be able to piece it together in Cadillac, in my opinion. At least they're not getting the last two spots. But that car, that pretty little car they have out there, it's going to look nice rounding up the rear of that pack. All right, P18. Some may say he's the greatest F1 driver to ever live. Lance, the man, the myth, the legend, Stroll. He is in a horrible car, and he does not deserve his F1 seat. I love Aston Martin, but I can't get behind Lance. It's not good there, and he's not going to help. Mr. Nonchalant, Senna, Hamilton, Schumacher, Prost, Vettel, Alonso. Yeah, he's better than all six of them. I could see him getting either 18th or 1st. We'll see how it goes. All right. Now we're heading on to P17. It's going to be Liam Lawson. The V-Carb, I'm not expecting to be good. And Liam, the second year, he's a rookie last year, yeah. Oops. Second year in F1. I don't like the V-Carb. I don't really have much else to say about Liam Lawson. I'm Liam Lawson. He drives like a maniac. So hopefully if he tones that down this year, you never know. But P17's in place for him right now. All right. P16, lucky number 16. Esty, the man, bestie. Esteban Ocon. Haas is good. I think they're going to be competing for that 5th place in the Constructors' Cup this year with Williams. I love the look of their car, but Esteban he's okay. So definitely going to score some points. Good points, probably not good points, but points, points count. Points count. All right, we're into our top 15 now. In 15th place, Pierre Gasly. So I know what I said earlier about Alpine being bad. And yes, I do think they're not going to be great. But Pierre, he's going to piece together one top 5 performance this year, I can tell, and a bunch of 10, 9, maybe an 8 or 2 in there. But he's going to score points, definitely more than Franco. And I struggled to fit him into a spot because I do think he's a pretty good driver just on a bad team. But, yeah, Pierre Gasly, P15 in 2026. You heard it here, folks. All right, P14. It got hard getting towards the top end of the midfield because all these drivers, they're pretty decent drivers. There's a couple outliers, but they're all good drivers. So in P14, I had a hard time doing this, but good old Nico Hülkenberg. That Audi, I have a feeling that it's actually not going to be as slow as people think. Their engine team looks good. The engine runs well from the few minimal hours of testing we got to watch the past couple of weekends. I do think their ventilation and side pods look a little weird, so good for Audi, wade in the waters, testing it out a bit. But Nico got his first podium last year, so congratulations. He's not going to get another one this year. He's going to be a midfield bandit. He's going to get low point scores and just tally them up over the year. But I do think he's going to be P14 in 2026. All right, P13, we're heading to our first Williams driver, Alex Albon. I think Williams is going to be pretty good. The end of last year looked great for them. Carlos Sainz, a podium, a sprint podium, a bunch of top 10 points finishes for both Alex and Carlos. Alex struggled as the year went on, but hopefully he can return to his pace from the beginning of last year and get P13. It doesn't look great on paper, but I think Williams are going to score a ton of points this year for a midfield team and definitely going to be competing for Constructors' Championship spot 5. All right, we're moving on to P12. So I struggled. There's 2 second-year drivers that I struggled to put at 12 and 11 here. So we're going with Gabby Bortoleto at 12. Now, before you say anything, he was great last year. In those couple of races, he showed flashes of brilliance, some might say. P6, couple P7s last year. He's going to be good, and he's going to beat Nico. He's going to be the better teammate there. Audi is going to be all right. Probably P7 in the Constructors. Maybe we'll get a video on the Constructors later on, but Gabby's going to be P12. Not much else to say about that. He's mewing in his picture. Good for Gabby. All right, P11. All right, gave it away, but I've got Oliver Behrman. Not much to say about Ollie. I think he's a Ferrari driver of the future with Lewis on his way out, and don't think Charles is going to stay there much longer if they can't find this out. I think he's a Ferrari driver of the future, and I think he's going to drive that Haas all the way almost to the top 10. Ollie the Bear, Behrman in P11. Now, for our top 2 competitors of the midfield in P10, Fernando Alonso. So I'm a Fernando Alonso guy, and it pains me to put him at P10 because did I think 33 was coming this year? Yup. Did I think Adrian Newey was finally going to carry Fernando to the Promised Lands? Yup. Did Honda carry us to the Promised Lands? Nope. Could we all be getting sandbagged? Yep. Are we praying for sandbagging? Yep. Fernando's got to do something with that car. He is a top 5 driver, top 6 driver, still on the grid at 44, 45 years old. And I hope for his sake and Aston Martin's sake, they get a podium or 2 this year. Doesn't look likely. Honda sucks. They should have never switched off that Mercedes engine package. But you live and you learn. Isn't that right, Lawrence? Go Aston Martin. All right, we're going into P9, the winner of the midfield, some might say. Or is it actually a top 14 driver? Well, It's not. It's Carlos Sainz. Carlos ended the year last year spectacularly. His days at Ferrari, his days at Williams. This guy's going to be able to do something. His McLaren days we don't talk about. But yeah, Carlos Sainz in P9. Pretty sure that's what he got in 25. Going to stay that way in 26. Williams is going to be a solid midfield team. Going to be competing for podiums. Never a win. Williams will not win this year. That is a guaranteed. Carlos will be P9. He will be the best of the rest. All right, P8. That leaves us Isaac Hadjar in the Red Bull. His first year in Red Bull, I mean, he looked great last year in the Racing Bull, but the Racing Bull at pace, it was arguably faster than the Red Bull for a fifth of the season. So we'll see how he does in that dreaded driver's number 2 spot for Red Bull. Yuki died, Sergio died, everyone's died in that spot. But hopefully he can stay more than 2 years. He could have been 6th or 7th, but I just don't think the experience is there yet, and I think they're going to struggle to get both cars for Red Bull across the finish line in every race. That Ford engine did look good, no problem so far, but he did have that huge crash a couple of days ago, and we'll see how he handles coming back from that. But yeah, I've got P8 for Isaac. All right, P7 for the 7-time champ, Lewis Hamilton. Do I think Ferrari's going to be better than last year? Yes. Do I think Lewis is going to be continuing to fall off? Yes. Ferrari's going up, he's going down. I don't think the Ferrari's going to continue to stay consistent throughout the year. There's better drivers, there's better teams that have handled the new regulation changes compared to Ferrari. P7, I think he might win one. You know what? We'll go ahead and give him a win this year. You know what? I'm saying that right now. Lewis Hamilton wins in 2026, everybody. Yeah. Ferrari's not great, so I can't put him much higher than 7. P6 is Oscar Piastri of the Australia. I think McLaren's going to be competitive. The Mercedes engine is definitely better than any other engine. He's Australian, so who doesn't love a good Aussie night? Do I think he's going to be as good as he was last year? Yeah. Do I think the McLaren's as good as it was last year? I hope not. I did not enjoy the 2025 season. Lando and Oscar, no. Do I think he's a good driver? Yeah. Do I think he's a top 3 driver, a podium deserving of a title? No. And then that leads me into the top 5. Number 5, fellow Ferrari driver, Charles Leclerc. I mean, speed limit. they're not. I hope for his sake that he can finish every race this year and score points in every race this year. Do I want to see him in an Aston? Yes. Do I want him out of a Ferrari no matter what? Yeah, I think it's a good time for him to change after his contract runs up in 28. I just don't think there's much going on in Ferrari, and I can't put any faith in them after the last couple of years. I am just utterly disappointed in their engine and their ability to stay on track. You have 2 of the best drivers on the field, and you can barely outcompete Williams in 25. So P5 for Charles Leclerc. That leads me into our top 4 now. And number 4, the 2025 World Driver Champion, Lando Norris. I don't have much kind words to say for him. He looks mean. He's not a mean guy, and I don't hate him. But I do hate that he won last year. Was he deserving? Yeah, because a driver, as good as a car is, they still have to drive the car to victory. Do I think Max should have been the champ? Yep. Do I think Red Bull failed him? Yep. That Cal with the thumbs down pretty much describes how I feel about Lando Norris. P4. Podium on the bronze platform. Kimi Antonelli. I had a really hard time deciding the top 3 here. Do I think Kimi could have won? Do I think he still can win the driver championship? Yeah, I do. Is he young? Yeah, really young. Do I think he can't, or do I think he will win? No, I think the age is going to just be a difference. It's his first regulation change. We'll see how he handles the new cars. I just think it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period for him. But I do think he gets on the podium this year, and that's great for, he'll be 20 by the end of the season, which is crazy. P2. Here we go, folks. Max Verstappen. So, no matter what, Max Verstappen could be driving an Audi or an Alpine or an Aston, and he would still be a podium driver. He is the best driver on the grid. He is the rawest talent we've ever seen in Formula One. The Red Bull is going to be good. It's going to be fast. I don't think it's going to match Merc, as you can tell by my 3 and maybe my 1. Maybe he doesn't win. But yeah, he'll be competing. It'll be close, but I don't think the Red Bull has what it takes to win this year. And this leads me into my number 1. Who could it be, you might ask? George Russell. The man, the myth, the legend. I think he's got to get it done this year. He's a good driver, great driver. Some might say the best driver. No one says that. But he's solid, and that Mercedes car is going to be blazing fast. So we're going to go ahead and give him that title championship, and he'll probably cry. But I won't. So, yeah, that's my 2026 F1 World Drivers Championship position standings. Make sure to like and subscribe down below. Share.